Welcome to the final installment of my 2.6 challenge this weekend. I am going to do a tutorial today on the original US 26 International Drum Rudiments. We are raising money for the Rhythm Studio Foundation. It's a wonderful cause. So many people have got involved this weekend. If you haven't donated yet and you're watching this video, enjoy the video. But be sure to visit the Rhythm Studio website and follow the links to the foundation and make a donation to help us continue the work of the foundation. Without further ado, let's get underway. So there are, as luck would have it, 26 international US original drum rudiments. Nowadays, the Percussive Arts Society have added 14 more to create 40, but for the sake of the 2.6 challenge, we are doing the original 26. These are the building blocks of drumming. So, quite often, people might think that practicing rudiments is a little bit dull. It's not the funnest part about playing drums. You might want to rock out with big drum solos on the drum kit, but in order to be able to do really exciting things on the drum kit, you've got to learn these rudiments. They are the building blocks for amazing drum beats and amazing fills. So let's get cracking. We're going to have a look through all 26 of them. Some of them are rolls, some of them are flams, some of them are drags, and there are some techniques I'm going to use along the way. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of learning to use the molar system or the molar technique. That is upstrokes, downstrokes, taps, and free strokes or full strokes, which bounce. You're going to see me use lots of those along the way. Look out for them. And you're also going to see lots of double strokes. And another thing I would make sure that everybody takes on board is the importance of practicing double strokes and learning to use your fingers to get good, fast, accurate, controlled double strokes. All of those things are going to help you play the rudiments well. So the first one is the single stroke roll. Single stroke roll, probably the easiest one to play. Right, left, right, left, right, left, but quite difficult to play it even and fast. But here goes. Number one. And if you're playing a little faster, you need to use a little bit the bounce of the drum to get it nice and even. Always watching out that your stick height stays the same, right hand to left hand, nice even sticking. Okay, moving on to number two. Number two is the double stroke roll or open roll. That means that you're doing 2 hits with each hand and you can clearly hear each double stroke. So it's not a buzz roll, it's an open roll. So this one you can play slowly. Or, if you want to be able to play it fast, you need to start harnessing the power of those fingers. So this would be an open double stroke roll using the fingers. So, you notice I was using the fingers, and also, really important, stick height, really even throughout. The third one is another roll rudiment. It's the 5-stroke roll. So the 5-stroke roll involves 2 sets of double strokes and an accent on the end. So double, double accent. And you start with your right hand first, and then you change to start with your left hand. So here goes, 5-stroke roll. Notice the upstroke on the first double stroke so that I land down with the accent on the last one. The next one is the 7-stroke roll. This time it's double, double, double accent. So you're going to end up finishing on the opposite hand. So you start with your right hand, finish on your left hand. Start with your left hand, finish on your right hand. It's going to sound like this. That's the 7-stroke roll. There are lots of rolls in the International Drum Rudiments. We're going to move on with the 9-stroke roll. The 9-stroke roll goes double, 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 accent. So you get 8 strokes from the double and then an accent on the end. Start with the same hand that you finish. Moving on, the 10-stroke roll. The 10-stroke roll is a funny one because it has 2 accents on the end. You're going to do the same double pattern as you use for the 9-stroke roll, but you're going to pop 2 accents on the end instead of 1. So let's give it a try. Or the other way around, left hand first. Notice how this time I'm using 2 upstrokes so that I can get the 2 accents. 2 upstrokes in the final 2 doubles to get the 2 accents. I'll show you one more time. That's the 10-stroke roll. Then we have another roll. It's the 11-stroke roll. To get the 11-stroke roll, we're going to do 5 doubles followed by an accent. So it'll be double, 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 accent, finishing on the other hand to the one you started. So then the 13-stroke roll, you'll be seeing a pattern here. We're getting longer and longer rolls with different ending points, either on right or left hands. So with the 13-stroke roll, we've got to do 6 doubles to get 12 strokes plus the accent on the end. So it'll be double, 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 accent. Or the other way around. Next up is the 15-stroke roll. So the 15-stroke roll is going to need 7 doubles to make 14 plus the accent on the end. And this time you'll finish on the opposite hand that you started. That is the 15-stroke roll, and that completes the roll rudiments. And we now move on to the diddle rudiments, paradiddles. Almost everybody's heard of paradiddles, and the single paradiddle is the first of the diddle rudiments. The single paradiddle goes right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Nice and simple, like this. But to play the single paradiddle correctly, as far as the rudiments go, you need to play an accent on the first one. And that is where that is where our downstrokes, upstrokes and tap strokes come in. The order is down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap. In order to play that a bit faster, that's when you may need to start using your fingers for the double tap. So, play the single paradiddle again a little faster. You'll notice my fingers started opening and closing on the diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle, and a little faster still. That's the single paradiddle. The next one is the double paradiddle. The double paradiddle simply has an extra para on the beginning. I like to tell people to go para, paradiddle, para, paradiddle. Then they remember it goes right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. And the diddle is always where you put the double stroke. So, para, paradiddle, para, paradiddle, para. Still using upstrokes to get the accent, and a little faster using the fingers for the double strokes. Fantastic. That's the diddle rudiments. Moving on to page 2, the flam rudiments. Flam is a classic rudiment. We use it all the time, a lot in rock and pop drumming. 2 hits right next to each other, so close together they make a sound that goes flam. So, nice big flam, just like that. But if we're going to play it nicely, true to the International Drum Society rudiments, we need to make sure we have an accent on the second hit, and the first note is a grace note. A grace note's going to be a bit like a ghost note, very quiet. And in order to alternate between flams, between right hand and left hand, you need to incorporate those upstrokes again, ups and downs. So the right hand does a down and the left hand does an up. Right hand does a down, left hand does an up, and it leads you to the next flam. So and a little faster. In order to be able to play consecutive flams a little faster, that's when you need to be able to do those ups and down strokes. The next one is the flam accent. The flam accent is a triplet, so 3 notes with a flam on the beginning of it. So it's flam triplet, flam triplet, flam triplet, flam triplet. And you'll notice I'm going to use the upstroke again, but in a different place on the second hit after the flam to get to the next flam. So that's the flam triplet. I find if you say flam triplet is a really good way of making sure that you get it in the right places. And the upstroke comes on the trip of the triplet. Flam triplet, flam triplet. You notice that my stick height for taps and upstrokes is very, very low, less than an inch off the drum. That is because if you're going to play musical drums, you need to incorporate dynamics. Full strokes come right up here, but without too much welly unless you need it. Tap strokes are right down here, and you need to take advantage of the full dynamic range of the drum. I have to thank my mentor, Bob Armstrong, for, excuse the pun, drumming it into me and making me be able to play these rudiments in this kind of way by teaching me the molar technique, teaching me to do doubles with good technique, and making sure that I appreciated the dynamic range that the drum kit has to offer. Anyway, time to move on. The next flam rudiment is called the flam tap, and it does what it says on the tin. It's a flam followed by a tap, and you do the tap with the same hand that you do the accent on the flam. So it goes like this. Flam, tap, flam, tap, flam, tap, flam, that's the flam tap. The next one is a little bit more complicated. It's called the flamacue. Strange name, I know. The flamacue has an accent on the first note after the flam, which means that you need to play an upstroke on the grace note of the flam to be able to get to the accent. So it goes like to get the accent in. But then we have 2 more single strokes and another flam on the end. And you'll also notice I'm going to use a full stroke or bounce or free stroke on the final hit to make myself ready for the next flam to begin it again. So it goes like this. Or a little faster. The other way around. That is the flamacue. The next one is the Flam paradiddle. Flam paradiddles are the combination of flams and paradiddles. All you do is play a paradiddle with a flam on the beginning. And it does help to say flamadiddle as you play it. So, the next one is the Flam paradiddle diddle. The Flam paradiddle diddle is one of the more tricky ones because you have to do 3 left hands in a row or 3 right hands in a row at the end of it to get to the next one. So it's going to go, with a paradiddle diddle, you do 2 diddles on the end. So you go flam, diddle, diddle, left again to get to the next one. Flam, diddle, diddle, flam, diddle, diddle, flam. Let's give it a try. I'll do it slowly to begin with. Flam, a teeny bit faster. That's the flamadiddle diddle. It's one of the more tricky ones because of those 3 notes in a row at the beginning. That brings us to our final section, the drag rudiments. So the drag rudiments are all rudiments that involve a double. A drag is like a double with a little accent after it, so you get a nice da-da-da kind of sound. Here goes with the drag. So it's a double stroke, which I use with my fingers, open, close the fingers to get a nice quick bounce, and then an accent after it. The next one is the single drag tap. It's going to be a drag followed by an accent. It goes like this. I find it helps to say single drag tap, single drag tap. And the next one, you might be able to guess, is the double drag tap. It sounds like this. The next one is bizarrely called Lesson 25. Lesson 25 has a drag followed by 3 notes with an accent on the last one. So if you imagine that being your 3 notes with an accent, or the other way around, and you add a drag on the beginning of it, so it would go. Or the other way around. That is Lesson 25. I should know why it's called Lesson 25, but I don't. The next one is called the drag paradiddle, and you can probably guess how it goes. But it doesn't actually just go drag-a-diddle, drag-a-diddle. It goes accent drag-a-diddle, accent drag-a-diddle. Up next we have the double drag paradiddle, or the drag paradiddle number 2, which just had some extra drag on the beginning. So you go accent drag, drag-a-diddle. Next up are the ritamacues. The ritamacues are a little string of notes which is like similar to a single stroke 4, which is 4 hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, with an accent on the end. Imagine this. That's a single stroke 4, but this time we have to put a drag on the beginning of it. So we're going to get something like this. is the single Ritamicu. There are 3 Ritamicu's. We've done the single one. We're now going to do the double Ritamicu. The double Ritamicu has 2 drags on the beginning of it. Not rocket science. Tricky to play though. Double drag followed by that same single stroke 4 pattern. And you guessed it, and this is the final one, number 26 of the original US Drum Rudiments, is the triple Ritamicu. 3 drags and the same pattern on the end. And that concludes the 26 US International Drum Rudiments. Like I said before, attention to detail on the stick heights, very low for taps and ups and drags and grace notes, using upstrokes and big accents for the louder accented notes will help you make these sound good. Practicing these a lot will help you transfer these into playing amazing fills and amazing beats and amazing drum solos. So I would recommend giving it a go. We did the 26 drum rudiments today because we're in the middle of a 2.6 challenge. It's a big fundraising effort for the Rhythm Studio Foundation, which is a charity that is very close to my heart. So please do push us over the finish line on this fundraising effort and get behind the campaign. And thank you very, very much for all your support.